Well, I'm with Emma Moore, whose day job, I think, is with NCVO, one of the big umbrella organisations. But we're talking today about PinkStinks, which is a great name. What was your pitch and what was the conversation?
Shall I do my elevator pitch? I think it's our organisation PinkStinks is about challenging the pinkification of girlhood, and that also includes the sexualisation of children. And we're doing that by focusing very much around real role models for girls.
And some examples on that?
So, for example, we've got another website which is called Call to Be Me, and on there we're developing short films for girls and boys, actually, all about women role models, and that's to get away from the kind of images that we see of women everywhere and the kind of stars, I suppose, that celebrity culture. So people like Posh and Jordan and Paris Hilton, who are cited as top role models for girls. We want to start showcasing real women and what they do, and saying actually there's more ways that you can be fulfilled and happy than just being rich. So that's what we've been doing, but we've also been doing a lot of campaigning as well. We had a very successful campaign just before Christmas, which was about tackling the Early Learning Centre and asking them about some of the products that they stock in there, and actually asking them a simple question: what do you think this teaches girls? So I'm talking about things like plastic pink high heels for 3-year-olds, and makeup and dressing up tables made of pink plastic, of course, for 3-year-olds, and saying, what does this teach girls? And that was quite an interesting campaign, and it had quite an interesting result, which was it kind of went global, completely unexpectedly for us. We didn't actually achieve much change in terms of what the Early Learning Centre stock, but we have definitely made a huge impact in terms of getting support and understanding how people are feeling about this kind of issue. But then also in subsequent campaigns we've used some of that success to back up what we do, and we've been successful, for example, in getting Sainsbury's to change some of the labelling of their dressing up clothes, which we were very pleased about.
So do you think Big Society or Big Society Network's got any relevance?
Well, I think it definitely has. I think as, and with both of my heads on, or hats on rather, at the moment, I think the question on most people's mind is, well, what does it actually mean in practice? And this is a fantastic event and an amazing opportunity to talk to people from small social enterprises and from government and from the civil society and voluntary sector, but what does it actually mean in practice? And I guess that's what we're here to try and sort out. I think the other thing is that this is all being done against the backdrop of huge spending cuts and all the rest of it. Now, I understand it's not all about money, and delivering this kind of thing isn't all about money, but you can't separate the two. You can't have the two conversations, I don't think, separately. So that's the kind of challenge, I think, that everyone's got to get to grips with.
So putting on your NCVO hat, or the perspective from there, tough times for voluntary organisations at a time when government's also expecting them to support social enterprise, volunteers and so on. So will a lot of organisations actually welcome any fresh people? Can they cope?
I think, well, that's a big question. I think that within the sector, obviously, there's a lot of unease and unrest at the moment because of what's going to be happening in the comprehensive spending review, etc. And that's something which organisations are, one, struggling with, but two, I think also having to look at new opportunities and to look at different ways of working. And I think for some organisations that's going to be the key to this, and could also result in being a bit of a rebirth of an organisation. I know certainly, just speaking about the bits that I look after at NCVO, we're looking at how we use new technology more effectively. We're being much more innovative in the way that we're thinking about delivering our help service, for example. So it's forcing us, in a way, to do things in a more exciting way. And I think if we can kind of keep hold of that positive energy, it will see a lot of organisations through. But that's not to ignore the fact that other organisations, and ourselves included, are coming up against some very, very tough times. I think opportunities for organisations to network with each other and to just talk to each other, and using online forums and all the rest of it to kind of collaborate is going to be more and more important and valuable for people. So that's what we'll be looking to do.